Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Penguin Review Series, Episode 6 from the Clown Prince of Podcasts, Travis Snail. I'm joined by...
I am Sophia's shoulder, Kirkland Patzer.
I just saw that.
I am the Mushrooms, Taylor Field.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are talking about Episode 6, as I just said, of a show that, you know what, every week when Sunday rolls around, I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah, it's Penguin. You know, like, I had that the whole day, had some football, but still, it's just like that. It's just... we still got 3 episodes, but it just sucks now that we're in the official back half because I'm thinking about like, man, we're almost done. This show's gonna be done. We still got 2 years till the Batman, but lo and behold, at least it's good. Or is it still good? I don't know. We'll find out. And Kirkland, you're gonna start us off. Obviously, maybe we'll revisit the shoulder when we get into spoilers, but
That's a big spoiler.
looks like that left an impression on you. But what do you think about this episode?
Yeah, I still think the show is immaculate. I think it's fantastic. I think it's still just the best thing to be watching every week. And yeah, and I like you. Sundays is just like a big viewing day for me now, especially F1's done their summer break, so they came back for a race today. So it was like football, race, and then watch this after a little bit more football. So it was a lot of just viewing today. But no, it definitely ends it off in a nice way. It would be terrible to end all that viewing with just a god awful episode. And now that we're in the back half of this series, it's nice that I definitely feel like things are ramping up like after this episode. It feels like we're getting into, I don't know, just danger territory. This whole season's felt like that, but now it's like really just amping up with I think just some of the moves certain people are making now. And
Lots of moves this episode. People are moving, shaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of heat going on.
A lot of heat going on. Maybe not enough with some things, but
yeah, maybe too much for others, you know.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like coming off of last week's episode, this might be like a minor step down, just because last week's episode, I think that was my favorite episode so far of the season, and tough to kind of match that. But this is still like, I don't know, like over 9 out of 10, maybe closer to 10 out of anything. But just comparing to last week's episode, I think it's not quite there. Yeah. But no, it's still super fantastic. I'll just save it there. I'll save that and the shoulder for later.
Mr. Field.
This episode was fucking awesome. Oh my gosh. Getting to have the little bit of story in the past couple of episodes, just the history with some of our characters and whatnot. Finally getting to this, though, and seeing just how the current situation has just blown up and seeing how Oz is handling it. Absolutely love it. I think it was great. I'm over the moon when certain things were just happening in this episode, certain decisions and just certain plays that were going down, thinking, holy shit, this is crazy. It's nuts. And I love not being able to necessarily keep up with certain things that happen. There's one character in here that you think they're going one way with their story, and then it just immediately, just without a second's thought, it just changes. It's like, holy fuck, like they just did that. Okay, I thought they were going a completely different route, but no, you learn, okay, that this person was brought into this specific situation just to set this specific tone for other characters, and again, the characters necessarily aren't major story players, but they are heavily impacting the main character that we're dealing with in this part. Overall it's fantastic. I'm excited to break down into spoilers because this show is so fucking good. I love the writing of this, and there needs to be more shows written like this and just have a great character depth and motivation. So
well, I feel like you might have to specify like in this genre. I feel like there's lots of shows like this that we're probably not reviewing, you know, that have great rating. Like you didn't pal back 5 seasons of Succession, which is supposed to be like one of the best shows of all time, you know.
I'll give it a watch. I'll let you know if it's the Penguin tier.
I think it's probably on par with it. That's next on my bucket. I just hear it's like fucking A class. So I bet there's lots of shows with great writing. There's just too much stuff to watch, you know.
Yeah, it's true. I'll have to give that a go and see if it's up there.
You should watch The Suppressions too, or Suppressions.
The Suppressions.
Sopranos, especially if you're liking the mobster stuff. This show is pretty much
we
just
got Daredevil retro to do. Don't
true. Yeah.
Sorry, Kirk, I'm watching The Suppressions.
No, At least Daredevil, I think you're gonna really enjoy because I think it has like a lot of isms, like the crime stuff and crime syndicate stuff. So I think if that transitions for people that don't know, Kirkland and Taylor should be retroing Daredevil in honor because they officially dated Daredevil March 5th. So each season is gonna get a month coming up in December and on. But yeah, it had like especially the Kingpin storylines definitely has Penguin ilk, and I think that's where I was talking about with Mike is he was saying that today too, and it's tough to disagree. It's so hard with comic book shows because there's some that are like Watchmen, where there's another one too. You didn't watch the Watchmen TV show? Fantastic writing. I would consider that it's to me it's Daredevil and Watchmen. Those are the top two. But it's so hard even with Penguin to combine them now, right, or compare them because like Daredevil 3 soon to be 4 season show where Watchmen's just like a one and done season. That's it. Here's the story, and that's what Penguin's gonna kind of be. But at the same time, like I guess you could still watch Penguin without the Batman, but you still need like a little bit of that context. But yeah, no, I don't have. I feel like every week we do the same kind of non-spoilers opening. That's why it doesn't last long. I don't have much to say. The show continues to be great. I really have no notes. Everything that I go, oh, what are they gonna do with this? They answer it. It's not like some shows where it's like, oh, not that it's a negative, like this doesn't make sense, but just like, okay, they present an issue or problem. There's things that I wonder, okay, how will this work and what they're gonna do? And there's many times shows that we review that doesn't happen. They just skip those steps. Like, oh, well, this is happening now. You go, okay, cool. I guess I'm just supposed to like it. Hey, but this show, there's two things in particular last week I would say with Sophia's storyline. I was like, okay, you kind of have to. You're juggling this for me to buy in. You're gonna have to give me some concrete, evidence, aka just good writing of how can we get from point A to point B. And to me, they did it, and I continue to be floored by her. I think Colin Farrell's also just continuing to kill it, but it feels like definitely this episode and last week, like Penguin's still in this a lot more than it was in last week, but this still feels like a big Sophia kind of 1-2 punch in my opinion. It's not a Sophia centric episode, but just feels like it's a big coming out party for Sophia. We'll talk about her name in a little bit here, but yeah, I loved it. Very, very fun surprise appearance by a character. If you're listening to non-spoilers, don't get super hyped. It's just a minor character from the Batman, but again,
Henry Cavill.
yeah, as Superman, he flew in. But yeah, it's stuff that they continue to make the world feel very connected to the Batman, but again, not like, oh, if you didn't watch so far, I still don't feel like if you don't watch the Penguin, you're not gonna get Batman 2. Obviously, I've not seen Batman 2, but just to be the way they're layering these characters, it's like, oh, that's really cool, and it's a perfect spot for this character to be. So yeah, another just kind of like knockout episode. I'm very excited to see because like Tara's alluding, the state. I think the stakes are as high as they can get now. I don't think there's like, and which is a good thing. I just think now it's going to be all out the carnage and fallout of what's going to happen. But I'm very curious, and I'm just curious how our man Oz is going to. Yeah, I'm curious how Oz is going to just get out of or into certain situations. And even then, the ending of this episode made me kind of. Think about some things again with the Batman. Where you go, like there's a couple things again that like is definitely going to play in the future. I don't know how closely, but this show continues to be great. So I can't wait to talk about it after the spoilers. So we will be right back. And we are back. Before we get into spoilers, you could join Patreon to listen to this episode ad-free. Every episode we do on Patreon is ad-free, exclusive, or obviously the exclusive ones. You can go. We do it monthly. We had a very, very good time, Taylor. We watched Kirkland. I'm mad you weren't there for this one. It was a good time. The Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, maybe our best watch long yet. That movie was fucking outrageous. We had a good time. Like the first one was like gimmicky, but this one, lots of laughs were had. So if you haven't watched yet, people, you can go watch through the commentary track. But more importantly, November 2nd, Extra Life is just around the corner. That is our 24-hour charity stream. We stay up for a full day and then some usually because we're setting up and taking down. But we have at least 8 events. You can click on the link below to find everything. There's trivia. There's college football games. There's going to be chess. There's going to be twisters. There's going to be charades. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. Next week, you'll have the official schedule up, and then I'll start announcing some of the people that are joining for trivia, some people you've seen before, some new people. It's always a good time, but most importantly, go to the link below and donate if you can. Everything goes to BC Children's Hospital for kids and families in need. It's all tax deductible, so that's good. Also, you can go buy the X-Men GeekVerse 97 themed shirt. All the funds go towards the Extra Life as well. Taylor, does he have it back there? He's just showing up black. He just looked like you're being like Maroni's son in there for a second. He had a cloth over your face, but yes, all the proceeds, and that shirt is only available till November 3rd. Once that clock turns around to November 4th, that shirt is gone forever. Just like our Barbie shirt, like our Lord of the Rings, they're exclusive items that you want to get, and you also get to, funds go towards kids in need. So we'd very much appreciate it. And if you can't, just come join, watch, like, share the link. We would appreciate it. And again, even if you can't just donate a couple dollars, that's completely fine. If we can't hit our full goals, all the money still goes towards BC Children's Hospital. I'm going to shave my head bald if we hit $1,000. Taylor has multiple different things he's going to be doing with his facial hair. We got Kirkland. We're going to give him the Hulk Hogan if we can hit. I can't remember what tier we're going to have it at, but the mutton chops with that, we got to get him a bandana. But lots of good stuff happening November 2nd. Always a fun time, so be there or be square. Gosh, where do we want to go? I feel like we got Penguin stuff, Maroni stuff, and Sophia stuff. Obviously, they're all kind of intertwined, but does anyone have a place that they're... I want to go to Sophia first, so can talk about that shoulder. So, yeah, how you feeling about the shoulder going on?
I feel pretty bad about that shoulder. You know what I'm talking about, right? Her left shoulder.
It's grotesque. It was
the camera angle that they had, too, was just really highlighted on it, and I imagine those are just injuries from her Arkham days when she was going through her treatments, and... her battle scars definitely add some scariness factor. I feel like ever since last week's episode, she's been just portrayed as a scarier character, even when like she's like air quote, playing the victim card when the cops like come to the house. She didn't seem like it was a big tragedy surprise from her perspective, like to the cop, but she also didn't seem like she needed to be like playing that card. Like, it's kind of like, that happened, and this is what's happening going forward. And I don't know, I just feel like her whole character has had like a major, I don't know, just shift in her, I don't know, her persona, maybe like just the way that she carries herself, not necessarily just from last week, but I feel like the last 2 episodes really, like she just seems like she's a lot more in charge, but also like dead set on her goal and like not really worried about like how it might affect like certain moves that she's making. It's just, okay, no, this is what we're doing and this is what we're gonna do now. Like I am calling the shots, and she made the shots in this week's episode with the execution on Johnny, which what a roller coaster of 2 days for that guy. He was going like through the Jesse Pinkman treatment of being all strapped in the cold, and then he's wearing a suit, and then a couple minutes later he's getting shot in the head. But for Sophia, I'm getting scared for the world of Gotham and the the others that are gonna be facing her wrath.
Yeah, again, I'm still very convinced that she dies or ends up in Arkham, but with each passing week, even more so. I was like, man, I'd really like this character to be in the Batman too, and the whole situation that's going on with Maroni, which we'll talk about later. I don't think it can happen, because I don't think they can coexist with Oz, and I think at the end of the series, one of these things got to give. But no, she continues to be, great, intimidating. I feel like they did a good job of, okay, last week they showed that there was a sympathetic side to her, still in a mob family, still didn't ask questions till her dad was being asked about her dad, but still was like, okay, maybe got a bad rep, right? But I still feel like this week enforced that, okay, she had some sympathetic things in her past, but she's still going to be a crime boss and still going to be, she could have just cut and run. She could have killed that family, got that money, and left. But no, she wants to run the crime organization, wants to take over Gotham. And sorry, like, if you're taking over Gotham, you're not like a good like Bruce Wayne is not trying to take over Gotham. He's trying to like release it, if anything, right? So it's like anybody, it's like, we can take it over. It's like, well, again, and that's why I'm fine with the character. That's a good trajectory. But that I think also helps for us making her not like, oh, she's such a good person, I can't believe Oz is doing this to her. Where it's like, there's definitely some of that, but there's some of this where she could have got off scot-free. Who knows how much money was in that bag, but there's enough money for people to be fighting over it and like taking it. That's blood-dripped money, literally blood-dripped money. So probably millions upon millions of dollars. She could have been out of there. Easy. Change your last name, go live a good life, take Julian Rush, go fuck him on a beach somewhere. But no, she's in it to win it. And they had Johnny V, which I'm happy last week they talked about, or I asked, like, okay, why is Johnny alive? Probably has to be because of the money, right? Exactly. Was also to like get a little respect. She learned like a little bit about her mom, but it was also like nothing's gonna say, like, it wasn't like, oh, I got brand new information. It's like, okay, sure, she was gonna run away. It doesn't matter. She's gonna figure out her dad killed her mom, so it's not like a big reveal. But yeah, Johnny Vitti, which was funny that she pointed out, and I think this was her whole pitch to everybody, right? That, okay, look at this money. You worked very hard. My father and everyone held it back. We're gonna go buy. Oh, I can't remember the new name. Jitani. What?
That's the last.
No,
week.
Shitani is the toast. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the last name?
I think it wasn't like Gigante or
Gigante.
or Gigante. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gigante.
Sophia. But anyways, no more speaking of Carmine Falcone anymore. That's dead. We got a new family name. We're gonna share all the money. I think it was very specific that she said none of us are a made man in here except for Johnny, and then she killed him because like in Mafia in real life you never kill made man because there's like huge punishments and there's a word I just literally forgot here, but repercussions. Thank you, Kirkland. Of you made men untouchable, right? And that's why it's a big deal if you be one. So that's why I think she's literally shown this is the new era because we're the underlings, and here's one of the last made men in the old family. And I just fucking kill him. That's how it's gonna go. It's not like people aren't over us. So like I said, I was wondering, okay, how's she gonna get the money last week? That worked with Johnny, and then how's she gonna get the families? Well, Johnny was like the meet cute of like, oh, let's just sit down and talk. And then she made a good pitch, killed them, and then gave them a bunch of money, and they were just criminals. So they're like, oh, on board. So again, what a perfect setup. And too bad. I kind of actually would have liked maybe one more episode of Johnny being scared shitless because I love that actor. I think he's a great job in anything he's in. And that whole thing when she's like, oh yeah, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. I killed them all. And he's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, I would have liked one more episode of him just being squirrely, like, fuck, I hate my life. But he was a fun character nonetheless to have around. But another member of the Falcone family gone, Taylor.
Yeah, they all cease to exist now, and so I think that's what really, really caught me by surprise because I thought, holy shit, like he sold whatever bullshit he was trying to Sophia, and now he's here and he's like a second in command kind of guy. But no, it was all just a ploy just to execute him in front of everyone and just dump all the blood. And Madison's
and get the money. She needed that money too, remember?
She needed the money too.
Yeah.
Madison's like, why? Well, the money is now all bloody and covered in blood. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, well, you just take like a couple of those bills off. It's fine. Like, those guys didn't seem to care. They were taking that money. Those were some mad stacks of 50s. So
I was gonna say, I think in the businesses they work with, they're not gonna care. Like even a bank, like if they strong arm somebody, like you're gonna take this bloody money, they're probably just gonna take it, right?
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I think so. But yeah, she's turned into such a crazy powerhouse. I am really, really enjoying her character. Holy shit. She was scary in those trailers that they were setting up in the show initially before we started watching it. And so when we actually got the show and we saw her, I thought, oh, okay, well, like she's definitely going through like a journey now, but it didn't feel like she was super threatening because we had the family. And I thought the family is just going to kind of be present in the background while she's doing her own thing. But now, yeah, she's killed them. She's making plays with Maroney here. It's just fucking crazy what is going on. And I feel like her killing the family, you see it with Oz. Like I don't think he expected that. I really don't think so when he saw it in Blackgate.
Like, yeah, exactly where we want to push Sophia. It's like, no. I like that even his girlfriend was like, no, like, just cut the shit already, because he's like, yeah, Luca, and now this is exactly what we want Sophia to do, and she's like, no, man, like I can tell you're just like spinning wheels here. So yeah, I don't think he thought that, but now he's trying to take credit that he like pushed her in that direction. It's like, no, Oz, you can't,
And I think initially, like his plan, if it worked out, would have been, okay, you're basically like clipped here. Your wings are clipped because you failed your own empire, and the Maronis just like tried to light you up, and now you're gonna go back, and it almost worked. Like the Falcones were gonna send you away to Italy, and we're gonna like cast you out, but she took the upper hand and she killed them, which is not something Oz was counting on. If that worked and like she did get out, then like she would have taken the fall for everything. Oz would have gotten away scot-free, still being able to play the Falcones, and then he would have been able to play his move against the Maronis, which his move against the Maronis was, I give him so much credit because it almost fucking worked out, but he definitely dished out like 99% damage, I'd say, to him, I guess, to the Maroni family right now. So
yes and no. He did to like the direct family, but now for the extended family, it's really bad because I feel that's where I'm so excited.
Well, no, because you still got the main family. Like Salvatore's still kicking around, right? So he's still got the power. But like,
oh yeah, that's why I said just
so
the direct
much.
to the direct family. He did so much shit, but I feel like now if they're gonna partner with Sophia, that's where I'm just so curious. Like, how does Oz get out of this? Because I feel like the speech that Sophia gave to those criminals, I feel like Oz could have made that speech, right? Of, oh, we're the underlings, we're the people, we take shit and everything.
And he kind of did, right, to his 3 boys.
Yeah, but again, his 3 boys, like his 3 boys and Victor, and then that's why I just like I'm very curious that Sophia gets this trust, gives them money. How does Penguin get those people, right? And maybe it's just a thing of like, okay, he kills her and they just follow him, but I hope it's a bit more deeper than that because I want there to be a reason. Why would they trust Oz? And same thing with the Maronis. Like, I don't think that people, like, if he kills Salvatore, I don't think they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he killed Salvatore, he burned his son and his wife, like we should follow them. Like, that's where I'm very curious how they get Oz back on top in the situation. And what I love about it is like I don't know particularly. I don't have like a clear line of, oh, it's X, Y, and Z, right? Because I until the very end, I didn't see the Maroni Sophia combo coming. Once she had her little speech, I'm like, oh, she's gonna work with him because exactly like she said, right? She's like, oh well, Oz wants me to kill you, but I don't want to do that. I want to make like a truce. And I did like where he's like, oh yeah, I would never ever partner with a Falcone. She's like, well, good thing I'm not a Falcone. Like, it's a new family. So it's like, oh, okay, that's a fun little twist there. And I was just very happy that. I was bummed for a second when the guard was shivving Clancy Brown. Like, oh, fuck, he's never getting out of there. He's just dying in prison. But a good cutaway. And, like a 1-2 punch there. Talking about where Penguin, they make this deal. He kidnaps Maroni's son. He wants his bliss back. So they're going to make a trade. It's Maroni's wife and him. With the son, they make the trade, but she had some extra people up top, scouting. Penguin, good shot, and his buddy, good shot, got out of it. But I do gotta laugh that, okay, he doused the son in gasoline. He goes to hug his mom. Penguin, which I knew that's what it was. Penguin has a lighter, throws it, sets her on fire. That's where it's like Penguin's so great and an idiot because his fire is what caused like the alarms and everything to go off and shoot the stuff down, and that killed the fucking mushrooms. But he's just smiling, and again, I think they did a good job of like. I understand like a criminal needs to make a move to be a bad guy, but they should have like smiling at them burning. It's like, well, that's fucked up. But I love that Oz he fucked himself with the mushrooms. That was his fault. If he could have just shot them. He didn't have to get so cocky like to set them on fire. But no, it's like that's like a classic Oz thing. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and then also Maroni got out. The assassination went poorly, and then he calls to gloat about it. But now Maroni's teaming up with Sophia. So again, that's what it's like. Sure, he got 2 barrels of mushrooms, but now it's like, okay, all the Maronis are going to be after him, and now all the Sophia's, the new name, are going to be after him. So it's like he made a big play, but it almost made it much worse,
Yeah, I loved how like terrified he was too, like after that, because it was like a big all in move that he was doing. He would have basically taken out like the whole head of the Maronis, right? With the son, the wife, and then Salvatore himself. And I really liked what happened there. I found like both with Sal getting out and like the mom dying, like a bit of like a bit of a stretch there. Like with Sal, so what? He gets stabbed by the cop, just beats the shit out of the cop, takes his keys, and then escapes the prison. Like, are you serious right now? Like, what?
It does feel like I agree with you to the extent that I'm happy it happened because I want him out playing with the characters. But it is like, how come they didn't do this like years ago? Like, this seemed pretty easy to like. He just needed keys to get out.
Yeah, I know. Like I feel like there's a lot more guards and like security cameras and checkpoints like in the Blackgate prison. No,
I would think so.
So he just has a trap door like in his cell that he just took to his cabin in the woods. Like it just seemed like such a jump from what was going on where he's getting stabbed to he's just home. And yeah, like, you motherfucker, you sent the guy with the keys. Sucks to be you now. I'm not like it was just like, oh wow, okay, that was pretty easy for him to get out. And then the other one was like I have no issues with him greasing up the son and then doing like the fire execution. That's always a badass move. But when the mom just like grabs him and like instantly gets lit up as well, like she just like doesn't like let go of the kid. Like, it just seemed like instantly she was just as on fire as the son was.
Well, Madison was like, couldn't you smell the gasoline? They're like, yeah, you should be able to smell
for
it,
sure,
right?
like kerosene or something, whatever the hell they have them coated in. And I think it was just like how fast it happened. It's like, okay, it's one thing that the son's gonna light up and burn right in front of the mother. Like, that's a big That's already a fucked up move, but like it just instantly lights up the mom, and I'm like, what? Like really? Like is she wearing a wool a wool
But she
jacket?
got
Or
the
She
something?
was
oil on
dry.
her.
She was pretty dry.
I
No,
know,
because
but
they
like
hugged.
it was so quick though, like how instantly she got lit up.
Okay, I will say that that's true. I could believe she got on fire, but she got on fire, and then when Oz looked back, she was like Freddy Krueger. She was just like
Yeah,
ash, pretty
she was
much.
just dead at that point. Like she wasn't even burning alive.
What I wanted to bring up with Sal though is I wonder, because we had talked about this in episode 1, where it's like, okay, he's in prison, but like he seems pretty comfortable there, and they were still running operations. I wonder if just because the assassination attempt happened, if he felt I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like what I'm
He could leave whenever he
headcaning.
wanted.
Yes, but it's like, okay, easier to stay in here. Just playing ball, you still got your wife. It's like it could be something for safety, whatever. So that's where I think that maybe because things were getting so bad, he's like, I gotta get out of here. Now they didn't say
Yeah.
that. They could still say that because the show's done that many times where I have a question, then the show answers. I go, oh, okay. But if not, yeah, I agree it's a little quick. But that's where my head canon is that he knows that if there's assassination attempt on his life, he's probably, especially because the fucking cop is like, Oswald says hello. Like it's not even like who could it be? It's that's
The
how
Lannisters
bold.
send their regards.
Yeah, that's
Same
how
idea.
bold Oz was. To think like make sure you say my name when you kill him. Like that's like if it goes great, fine, but it doesn't. So that's where maybe
Yeah.
that he hears that call up, kills him. Okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And then unfortunately now he's a widower. So
It's not even that big of a deal. Like it is
Yeah.
just like a minor thing. But I feel like it's the first time this show that I've been like, that's kind of inconsistent, or like that's not as clean of an execution that they've had elsewhere. So it just speaks to the quality of the show
yeah,
all around. And I think it's also one thing that like when Sal gets stabbed and then phones Oz, like that's really close to when like the mom and the son die. So it was just like two things back to back where I'm like, really? Okay, that just seemed a little lazy how we got there. And I think I would have been right there with you on the head canning if he didn't say like, oh, you said the guy with the keys and that's how I got out. Like he goes through the
Yeah.
effort of saying that. It's just, I don't know. Again, it's kind of nitpicky, but it still kind of made me chuckle.
I shouldn't have chuckled, but I did when Salvatore called up Oz and is like I know where you are now, you son of a bitch. You're cooked. And I knew, oh,
Yeah.
don't go there, Oz. Oz is like, oh, you want to talk about
Licking his
cooked?
lips,
Well, you
yeah.
tried calling your wife, huh? Like, fuck.
he didn't even go as bad as I thought. I thought he's
He
gonna
could have
full
gone
on.
worse.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go much worse. But yeah, no, Oz took out his son and everything. But yeah, Maroni's free. I'm very excited to see him out and about. I don't think he's gonna make it either, but I'm excited to see.
He's trying to use fast food, and Sophia's like, oh,
His
didn't look like
venison.
it traveled well.
He's eating his venison in the same cabin that Kurt had.
That would have been great. That would have been a great poll. But yeah, no, like we talked about, she made that deal with them, killed two of his guards, so that kind of sucks for them that they died, even though a deal was being struck.
Maronies or Maronies are losing a lot of soldiers.
They are, and even then, it's like only two guys. You know, like you can have like I feel like if I got a prison,
One guy short of what Oz has. Oz is outnumbering him now.
right? Like I don't like again they've insinuated that he has lots of power. Maybe it's just because it's quick, but still, it's like there's gotta be more guys out there. You're assuming your family was just murdered and you were almost assassinated in prison. I would like two guards. Like no, I think at least get me a dozen or something, you know, or at least even have one inside with me too. That's one thing. Like I understood why when Julian, because we talk about new recruits, I imagine it's a crime show or a crime, you know, whatever world, they patted him down before, but I was like, really, would a guard just leave Julian alone with her in that room? But you know, I guess it's just she's a badass and that's fine. But Julian, I get see this was mine, maybe like minor inconvenience that you had with I almost called him Kurt, fuck, with Maroni, because he talked about venison in the fucking cabin. I gotta watch New Blood again, but he's just like, well, I see things are going on and it's awoken something in me and I want in. And it was like, I predicted last week, like, hey, she didn't kill him, so clearly he's going to be of some use. And like, he has the hots for her, right? I wish it was the other way, that she went to him knowing like, okay, he can get me X, Y, and Z. Even if it's like, hey, she lost all those mushrooms. He's an Arkham connection. You can start this back up again for me. I just wanted him to also like pitch her why. Like I'm fine because I like the actor, I like weird characters, like having some sexual like innuendo stuff, that's fine, but like what does he have to offer, especially in this room full of like mobsters and everything? Like, and I thought he was gonna announce she was coming in, but no, it was Johnny Vitti. So I'm not sure if he's gonna maybe take the Johnny Vitti role for her and be her kind of underboss. So I want to see that progress in the next few weeks, and hopefully I get an answer there. But I knew it was coming. I just didn't feel there was like a. I had like the Ryan Reynolds gift, but why? You know, like,
Yeah.
what does he have to offer? He's just a doctor, right? As of right now, he's just a doctor. I wish even then even if he came and said, hey, like I know you were getting those drugs from Arkham, I can get you even more. And she's okay, like. And like I said, even if it was then, like if Sophia just wanted to fuck him and that's why he's kept around, sure. But neither from her or him, I got a reason why he's around. He just says like something's awoken in me because I feel something's going on. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, bro, cool. But she accepted him, so he's a part of the family now, I guess. I don't know.
It's funny because this episode with him, I had like a similar feeling that I had with him in his Arkham episode. Was that last week already?
Yeah.
The Chintani one? Wow, okay. So in that episode when he's like just asking her interview questions, and if you know listeners, if they listened to that last week's review, I had said how I was expecting like a twist with him, that he was just like playing her all along, but like really he was just, I guess, a good guy, or like felt bad in hindsight over what was going on. Like he had like a moral dilemma about this whole thing, and then he explained that to her. And it just seemed like too easy for me. I thought that we were going to be getting like some complex dynamic. And when he came in and he's like, you know, the cops were talking to me, I didn't tell him anything. I'm like, man, he's playing her again here. Like he has to be like this because same thing that you said, like it was like, why is he actually here if it's not for some like complex reasoning on, I don't know, the cops have him with a wire trying to like just bait her into saying something. Like that's I was like 90% convinced that was actually happening, because it just doesn't really make sense with everything else that's going on, like why he would be there. It's just he's obsessed with her. I guess it's like a weird spin on like almost like a Harley Quinn dynamic, where like that was her therapist, and now
Yes.
he's just kind of becoming obsessed with her, and then he's just following her into the crime world. So yeah, I am a little confused on what's going to happen with him, but I think he's like a good actor, and I do like the two of them on screen together. So, you know, I'll be patient and see what happens, but I'm right there with you on just I don't know, it seemed unnecessary, and I feel like they haven't really made an effort on to like I know Sophia needs some help with, you know, running Gotham, but it's just like why
But
this
why
guy?
former Doctor Julian Rush of
Julian
Arkham?
Rush.
Yeah,
exactly.
you know, unless he, like I said, unless there's, I'm still waiting for some reveal.
It's like, I'm a
or
mushroom
something.
expert, actually. That's my that's what I majored in.
I
high
love
school.
mushrooms.
Scarecrow.
I don't think so, because that's John. Why is his name not Jonathan Crane?
They're
She's gonna be like,
changing
I'm
it.
gonna call you Jonathan Crane now because I like that
Yeah.
name more.
And his nipples
like,
just get
yes,
so
mama.
hard.
Yeah. You're gonna get the fucking, what's it called? What's that penis piercing called? The fucking
Prince Albert.
Yeah, get the
Yeah. I call it the Prince Sophia though. The Princess Sophia. Taylor, what do you think about Julian Rush now? Did you,
Please don't have that in this season. Please don't bring down this season quality for that.
It's just a whole, next week you just get a full cock shot of Julian Rush, like, look what I did for you, Sophia. I love you. Trust me. And she's like,
You just
you have
get
to do that.
song, like the Weekend song from the Greys movies that starts playing.
You earned it. Yeah.
Yeah, earned it.
And she's like, then she just shoots him right after. She's like, this guy's fucking weird. But Taylor, what are you taking from this Julian Rush connection?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. He's just such a creepy guy. He probably has like, as much as I love the show, this might be just the weakest part of it, just with his character. Just like walking into the room, Sophia's like, "Why are you here?"
There's got to be a payoff, though, right? Though, maybe?
I hope
Like,
so. I really, really do hope
like,
so.
Is there any chance he's working with Oz? Like, any chance? Like, I feel like when we talk about how could Oz make a play, I wonder if
That'd
he
be
could,
a good fucking play.
if he's like, no, she's a, but at the same time, it's like, then why they make him so like overly horny for her, right? Like, that's where I'm still wondering on him, but
I don't know. If it was the Oz play, I would definitely get behind that. I think that would be super, super fun. But yeah, he's got the hots for Sophia. He's overly horny. He just is like, can't even handle himself. So
which I understand. Powerful woman. She's great. She doesn't have a dresser or tailor, but every episode she's got some sick outfit on. We're
Oh,
like, goddamn,
absolutely. Holy
great.
shit. So
Her like
I
eyeliner too. This
it's
episode,
great.
she's looking
He was doing it for her. That's what he does. He's her tailor.
hair and makeup.
He used to dress her in Arkham, so now he dresses her outside. And I guess there's 3 episodes now, right? Because this happened a lot where like Oz on the back foot, Maroni and her are already together. So like maybe next week we'll get something more solid with him and the why and everything, right? Because especially if we assume she's gonna die or go to Arkham, what's he gonna be doing, right?
Oh, he's going back. He's like, I'm gonna go get a job back at Arkham.
I hear you guys need doctors. Yeah. And then he goes through the metal detector. They're like, "What's that?" Oh, I got a piercing
It's called
inside
a
that.
Prince Albert. Yeah.
It's called a Princess Sophia, actually.
Princess
And she's just there. She's like, "Oh fuck, I'm stuck with this guy again." But yeah, we'll see about her or about him. I think we talked about everything with Sophia. I think Maroni.
How
Was
about
there anything-
Squid?
Oh yeah, Squid.
You don't remember Squid? They pulled that back in.
From
Remember
Victor's
when Victor
past?
and Francis were trying to sneak into the building and Squid saw them go in?
Have we seen Squid before? I forgot.
Yeah, he was in the
Yeah.
flashback when they're on the roof before the flood, and they were talking about like, oh, Squid's just a bad guy. He handles all like the drops and stuff in this part of town.
Okay, before we go there, because that's gonna take us to like the Penguin Victor Mum stuff. I want to shout because I'm gonna forget. I love when Sophia Kirkman, you're talking about with the cop that came. I love that they brought. Hey, do you know who the family
Oh
is?
man,
What's
Okay.
going on? The Falcons. You fucking hate him. Like, oh my god, that cop. I hope he's in every. They don't kill him off. I hope he's in every Batman movie, every Batman show. What a fucking voice that guy has. He's so good. And again, that was such like a good little thing to put in. Where yeah, he'd be a. Like he's they said police chief, right? It makes sense that he's there for the death of the biggest crime boss. I love that Sophia calls him out like, oh, are you here to sell, or are you here because you're not going to get any kickbacks now? So and that's why I like they didn't really specify if he's dirty or clean, which we never know in Gotham, right? Like which cops are good, which are bad. And I feel like with this guy he could go either way with the voice and the aura he puts out. But I would have never thought I'd be fist bumping to see this cop when I saw. I'm like, oh shit. So it was great to have him back. I hope he's in another episode. But if not, I was happy to get this little appearance from him here. So
Yeah, I like instantly knew. I like forgot about that character thinking back on the Batman, but as soon as he was in there, I just recognized because of his voice, just so
Yeah.
iconic.
Taylor, you should be him for Halloween.
I should be in for Halloween.
Were you happy
Yeah,
to
I
see
don't
the
know.
comp?
I don't know if I could do his voice, but he's definitely a memorable character to be sure.
Well, let's take another ad break and then we'll end it off with talking about Penguin and his crew. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So yeah, let's talk about Squid there because I did not remember he was the one specifically in the flashback, but yeah, they talked about he was he's a bad guy in the neighborhood. He runs drops in the neighborhood, Victor, and I guess like now you guys clearly remember this more than me. Did they establish that Victor owes him money or something in that flashback, or like
I think
why
he
was
just
Victor?
fucking hated Victor.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I'm gonna fucking kill Victor, and then something happened, like the floods happened.
Well, I think
Like,
it was I wanted
Oh,
him. Like, didn't he want him working for him, or to just be part of his crew? And Victor was just. I think Victor had like a "I'm too good" kind of like a
Yeah.
feeling he was putting off on the Squid.
Mm.
Squid just hates him though, no matter what.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah. You're a freak, Victor. But yeah, so what happens is at the beginning of the episode when Penguin at first thinks, hey, everything's going well, doesn't go well. He had told Victor go watch his mom in case because he's listening to the GeekVerse podcast. You know, we said, oh, someone's gonna find out about that mom and you're gonna be in trouble, right? So smart move her before someone gets her. I did find it interesting though that Penguin in this episode said, let me get the quote here. When he's talking, and Victor wanted to stay with them. Oh, he said, she's what keeps me good. So one, if this is Penguin's version of good, pretty fucked up. But two, that's why no matter what, she's a fucking goner. Because it's going to be like, if she's gone and this is like keeping me good, what's it going to be like? And I thought in this episode that Vic was going to let something happen to his mom, and that was going to be, and I still think that could happen, but I think that might be what makes Penguin fucking kill the shit out of Victor at the end of the season. I think he's going to screw up. He's going to get careless. Like we already saw in this episode, he fell asleep. He's supposed to be on guard and he fell asleep. Now, luckily, Penguin, things are, he's the only guy you can trust. Like, oh, it's fine, whatever. And he gives him the speeches and everything. But yeah, Victor was instructed to get him out of there. So they went back to some of the flood homes or apartments to hang out there. His mom is getting very, very bad. Like she has her medication, but she thought Victor was one of her sons, which we learned Penguin had two brothers that just got fucked up, I guess, because the streets. He just said like the city just swallowed them up. So it's like,
Batman
oh,
took him.
Penguin, he just fucking breaking his neck over them. No, I don't think he took him yet. But so yeah, we established he got two brothers, and now Penguin's girlfriend also left him, or didn't go with him, I guess, in a sense. And then him, Penguin, Vic, and the mom are just hanging out here. So, Kirkland, what do you think about all the goings on with Penguins, where he started high, but now it's kind of low. He started right back to, because he said him and his mom used to live in a shithole like this. So he started right back where he begun.
Yeah, I like how he's trying to like spin it like, oh yeah, we're living together now. It's gonna be awesome. She's like just disgusted. Like, what kind of son
Yeah.
can't look out for her mom? And I like it for just the I think the tenseness that's gonna come out of it, especially that a lot of people are looking for Oz, and now that he's his main place of residence is with his mother and Vic, and I don't think Gotham's that easy to hide in, like
No.
Victor.
I would have
thinks
gone
it
much
might be
further.
I thought they're like when he's like, yeah, get him out of here. I'm like picturing them going to the countryside or something. It's like, oh no, they're just
Bloodhaven at
going.
least.
Yeah, they're just going to fucking the sketchiest part of town where you have your old Squidward looking for you, robbing the local watering holes.
Yeah.
Just like broad daylight, just robbing, smashing the windows in, taking all the liquor.
And he did a terrible sneaker in job, I feel like. The way he was just like fucking, he put the hood on like right when he went in the door. It's like, no, he put the hood on right away. He got a
Yeah.
blanket over. He just was like worst stealth.
I would have just kept driving, but I guess he doesn't really have anywhere else. And like, he parks his car there, and I'm like, dude, that car is just gonna get fucking jacked.
It's
Like as soon as
toast.
you leave, yeah, like they're gonna take your rims.
Squid's taking it.
Squids, yeah. Are they not gonna be like, oh, this is Victor's car? Look at that. I wonder where he is. Like, it just seemed like kind of a weird sequence in that sense, and that's not even including like the stealth sequence that you just listed with him getting into the house. And I really thought that the squid thing was gonna happen like in this episode. I thought he was, because they showcased that he sees him, like he
definitely
guess
saw him.
he might be second guessing what he saw, but still he did see him. Like, I thought he was gonna be breaking into the building that same episode. I thought it was gonna be when Oz got back, and Oz was just gonna absolutely beat the shit out of him or like kill him like right then and there. And then that's that, because I'm not really looking for like a interesting squid inclusion in the show. I think there's enough big players at play, but I don't want to
agree.
judge it until we actually see what happens.
I agree. He could also just be as simple as like they hear that people are looking for Penguin and he's the reason, right?
True.
Like
Yeah.
it could just be something as easy as that, and maybe Penguin kind of blames him because like, oh, this guy, and then like like he says something about not being a man, taking him out. Who knows? But I agree with you because man, I guess next week's already the penultimate now. I thought we had 3 because this is
Yeah, I don't-
episode 6, right?
This
No,
is
This is five.
5. Oh, I definitely have it wrong in the I have it wrong in the title, and then I think I said episode 6 in the beginning, and none of you corrected me.
I have no memory of this.
You bastards. But yeah, so episode 5. Okay, so we got 3 more. So okay, I agree with you. Where maybe we don't have time for like a big squid character, but he could have like a mini character thing, or maybe he's just like, maybe he somehow gets his mom killed, right? And Penguin blames Vic for that or something. I don't know. I think here's my prediction: the Squid storyline and that character will be done by next week. That's what I think.
Yeah,
One way.
I
or
hope
another.
so. I hope so. I thought it was gonna end this week, but I'm right there with you.
Well, it'll be interesting because I think Squid will somehow obviously connect. I don't think Squid's gonna act on his own. I think Squid is gonna connect to Sophia and Salvatore, because once they get their operations set up here, and like we know that this territory is not run by the Falcons, or sorry, the Gigantes. It's not run by the Maronis. So that's an interesting dynamic. And Squid obviously tries to capitalize on that fact by doing the drops and everything in this area. But now you have Penguin setting up shop, which we got to see a look at his new hideout. And I think that's going to then make Squid be like, okay, there's a big guy in town and he's doing shit, and I'm gonna maybe go strike a deal or whatnot. I just think he's going to come in with the help of the other crime families, and he's not going to act alone. For him to act alone, I feel like that would have to be wrapped up pretty quick in an episode. And considering how much time they've been focusing on these narratives, to do that in 3 episodes, I don't think they have the time to do that. I think it just makes sense just to tie him in, just this one guy, not his whole crew, one guy with the other families, and then have him just get killed off in like a bad fight or something like that. And
Yeah.
maybe like, yeah, he use him as that revealing point though. He's gonna get Oz and Victor caught up in a bad spot because he's, I'm assuming, gonna go to the Sophia and whatnot. So
Yeah, you don't think it could still just be that he just wants to fuck up Victor, and then something goes wrong, and then
what do you think he would do? Like he goes down there and like just tries to steal the shrooms, or
Well, I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think he saw. I don't think that he saw them go down there as of yet. I think that's gonna remain secretive because I feel like that just kind of blows up the whole gig, right? Of people being like, look at this place, and then
Like-
episode 6 of the series, there's like, we know where you're stashing. Like, I think that stays as a secret until the Batman.
with the, I think you're probably right. With the one episode, they could do. I guess they could do a few things because the next episode they could have Squid go into that apartment.
Yeah.
Like just get super pissed off, and I don't know if Victor's there. Now Victor could be with Oz down below, and maybe he just Squid kills Oz's mom.
Yeah,
and then
what if-
leaves,
what-
and then Oz is like, oh my
Yeah.
god, then takes Victor with him, and they go and they kill Squid or do some crazy shit, and that maybe tips off Sophia, like, okay, now we know where he is. He's out in Crown Point, so we're gonna go out there and take care of him. That's boom. That's your penultimate, and then your finale episode with them going to chase Oz.
I could see something where Victor like leaves his mom to go get something, and like, I'm gonna be right back. And then while he's gone, Squid comes in, interrogates Oz's mother because she's sick. He's gonna think she might be fucking with him, but he's not gonna understand because Squid is, I don't know if he's gonna be the most smartest guy.
She'd be
So
like, what's the confusion?
and then boom, the headshot. So I could see something like that as well. Like there's a lot of angles you can go with that character, but I luckily don't think he's going to be like a third crime. But I don't think it's gonna be anything too massive. Or like I say, he could be dead by next week. People might kill him.
He's the leader of the Falcons now. New leader.
Yeah, second
Squid
cousin. He's like, I'm going to
Falcone.
take the name. Yeah, Squid Falcone. But yeah, so Victor, he's with his mom. We'll see how that goes. Penguin is now like nice from the girlfriend to be like, oh, well, like pretty much just like, if you're back on top, like we'll be back together. So it's just kind of like it's an all or nothing for her. She's kind of can see that the ground is crumbling beneath him. So I think she is just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna leave you do your stuff. But if you ever get back on top, like I'll be there, baby. I can't wait for it. So. Now I don't know about her because I actually did think she was going to be someone that might bite it, but the way that she kind of distanced herself from him, I don't really get that feeling anymore. I was actually worried for her health and safety when she was breaking up for him. I thought he might just snap and shoot her. I thought he might feel like betrayed, but I could also see a situation where he does get on top. She goes to talk to him, and he kind of like shushes her away. Like no, like you could have had like. Because he even like it seems like he thought they had something. He's like, "Oh, I thought it was you and me to the end," or something like that, right? So I could see him not even killing her, just like, "Yeah, your girls can't work at my club," yet like kind of making her pay for leaving him in that moment, right? Something. So I don't necessarily think she's a dead woman now, but I don't think her and Oz are gonna end up together. But again, she does have that last name that belongs to another character, so
Yeah.
you never know, right? So
I feel like that fact is what makes me think we'll get more of her in the future in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, I was okay with her just staying back. I don't know. I feel
I didn't
like
need her at the apartment. Yeah.
I don't need the safe house getting too overcrowded with people. Especially if we're getting Squid involved now.
All her girls are there too. Like the three guys, all her girls, her, Victor, the grandma. Yeah, that'd be a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Especially from her perspective, it's like, fuck, I don't want to stay with
Yeah.
your demented mom and Victor and not at my apartment.
I do feel like though, because she did bring up that, hey, Sophia knows who I am and saw all the names of my girls. That might have to come back, right? Because she,
Yeah.
if so, because right now, okay, I agree, it's not the greatest place for Penguin to hide, but if they want to stay in Gotham, at least it's somewhere they're hidden. So if it's not Squid, her and Maroni are going to be looking to find him, and like, who better to go to than the woman that was like his like girl, right? So I feel like she's definitely going to be maybe even in next week, because I feel like that's the only goal obviously Maroni and Sophia want to take over Gotham and team up, but I feel like the direct goal is to get Oz, so they're gonna have to start hunting real soon. They're gonna have to go to all the different sources and people. So I don't know.
I do feel like Sophia's paint the town red moment is still gonna happen when. I don't think it'll just be one victim like close to Oz. I think it'll be like quite a few. So maybe her or her girls could
The three
be
guys
part
as
be
well.
part of that. The three guys
Yeah,
be part of that bloody event.
it could be. Yeah, Taylor, how you feel about the odds of his former lover? I'll say.
I thought that she was gonna pull a fast one and like be turning on him or something like
Oh.
that. Yeah, like but I just feel like she's going off to the next best thing, the next heavy hitter, and I don't necessarily blame her for kind of moving along because she was put in a very bad spot because you just throw a Maroni heir in her apartment and have them kind of like on the front page of doing some shit with Sophia, so they know that they're marked basically, and she knows that she can't stay with Oz. She's gonna have to go figure out her own way. So what her own way is, I don't know. Oz was just about to mention to her too about the mum, so that's very interesting. That it's a good thing he didn't say it because I feel like
Yeah.
it's not the last we've seen of her. I think she's gonna go to Sophia with information or something just to kind of throw him under the bus a little bit. So
It's gonna be interesting. And then yeah, like Taylor mentioned, they showed us. It was interesting. So Oz, he breaks open this like jar, has this coin. It's for a trolley system. He goes down. There's a place that's just like guarded off. It's down in like a tunnel, whatnot. Oz says there's a bunch of locations. They open it up. They go down. It's a trolley system that they used to use, and then it got shut down. So obviously, if they use this, I feel like the entrances or whatnot are gonna have to be a little more guarded. I think you just can't leave a door open for that going forward. But they hits a generator, lots of heat, and that's a picture. Like, it's warm, and good for growing mushrooms, and then that's what's gonna be. So that's gonna be the base. So one, I feel like whatever. I'm not sure. I guess he has the 2 mushroom kits. He's gonna find some way to like, and I don't know if that's where Julian Rush is gonna come in. If he knows a way to like help with these mushrooms, and Penguin recruits him, I don't know. But I guess that's what's gonna be all base operations there. So I guarantee you, when we get to in the Batman, I wonder if there'll be a set piece of Batman being there. But two, I did not think they were going to do this, but I was very worried when they were down there. And like, I saw someone point out that apparently Bruce's Batcave is connected to that same subway line. So like, obviously it's probably not like right beside each other, but they are dangerously close. And I find that kind of funny that, Bruce Wayne has his Batman operations, underground, the Batcave subway system. And now Penguin, businessman, quotation marks, is going to have his drug like operation down in the subway. So it's kind of funny they both have them there, and I don't know if that's gonna play into anything. I'm not sure if like Batman's gonna be
that's
doing
Oz's
fucking
plan. In the finale, Batman's gonna join up with him, take down the crime
join
families.
up with them. Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna join up with them.
Like I'm not gonna sure if he's gonna like be doing push-ups in the Batman 2 and just hear like Oz's cackle a couple subways down and be like, oh, they must be down here. I don't know, but knowing that Reason Company, I don't think it's a mistake that they are close. And I also don't foresee like Penguin finding out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but there's got to be something. So I feel like both with the location being so close and also just like this is his base now, this stuff we'll definitely see in the Batman too, and that gets me pretty excited.
Yeah, I kind of chuckled because I'm just like, man, it just seems like they have all these ready to go bases everywhere in Gotham. Like you just, you break down a couple boards, you got a generator there with some fuel, not a lot of fuel, but like still all the lights are ready to go. It's just like some good bones for a hidden base, and like they didn't really, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, I guess it was just his nostalgia. That's what made him go there. I was gonna say like there wasn't anything like I got a base that's set up for some mushroom growth. It's just
I know where the Batman is, Vic. Let's go find him.
Yeah, and like the generator still works perfectly after like years.
I think like with that and the other like kind of like okay moments I had in this episode, that's where it just seemed like a significant step down from last week because I didn't have any of those moments. Really, I don't think at any point up like at the show up until now, but they are like so minor and not really an overall story breaking moment or anything like that. But yeah, I didn't really think about actually Bruce Wayne's base being connected to those tunnels, and yeah, I'm curious as to how that's gonna be resolved. I don't know. Like, part of me is like, is this just gonna be his new permanent base? That like this is like anytime that we see Oz going forward, this is kind of his new Iceberg Lounge, type type bass.
That's how Bruce gonna hear it. Just,
Just yeah,
what the fuck is that, Alfred?
fucking rave 24/7.
Yeah.
But then he said like it's just the new mushroom facility, so it's like okay, well I don't think he would have his main base in like the place that he's making all these drugs, but maybe he is. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's just gonna be the drugs, and he'll still. Well, I was gonna say he'll have the Iceberg Lounge because I'm holding true. He's gonna win this war, and he's gonna be set up in the Batman too. So he'll still have the lounge. So I think this will just be the operations. And like I said, I could see a cold open here being of the Batman 2 of Batman like breaking this place down, and you get a season of Oz building up, find this this base and everything, and then Batman just fucking just destroys it and everything. So, but yeah. Taylor, any thoughts on how that might play into the Batman 2?
Yeah, I don't have many thoughts. I just need to see where this is kind of gonna go. I I got to rewatch the first Batman because just seeing all these Oz scenes, it just makes me want to go back to and watch it just with every time Batman encounters Oz and the Batman. This, oh god, what are you showing me? And then what's the other thing he says? Like when he's driving away, he's like, "I got you," and then I rewatched this specific scene. I keep rewatching the intro of the movie because it's fucking great, just the whole setup. But what does he say to Batman? He's talking to him and Commissioner Gordon, and he gives them like the lesson on the
El
language.
Ranalada.
Yeah,
Don't you speak Spanish, stupido? And it is funny, like they've kept it up in this show that he knows Spanish. Even in this episode, they start talking a different language. He's like, "I just
That's
fucking do
right,
it," you know.
yeah.
Like, so that's what I love that like Gordon and Batman aren't like the greatest of Spanish, but like, hey, fucking Oswald knows it. So like they don't make their criminal like, oh yeah, he's a complete idiot. It's like no, he's smarter, but yeah, El Radalada,
yeah, that's good.
whatever he says. Yeah. Anything else that we haven't touched upon?
That's everything.
Yeah, I think that's it. Well, I guess he said goodbye to his chariot in this episode.
Right.
I like that.
yeah.
I like that he brought up that old gangster again.
Again, yeah.
and just talking
Had a good
about
one.
just like the symbolism, I guess, to what the vehicle means. And I like how Victor was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, I crushed it." It's like, no, you did your job, but I don't know, I still like that scene.
Again, him kind of like romanticizing what he's gonna be like, but even
Yeah.
in the prison when he's like, "Yeah, I kidnapped your son, and you're gonna trade me," and then like Maroni's wife is like, "This is not how things are done." So again, just like the show, like that's how the episode begins. It's him like, "I want to be this gangster that's respected," but then every character's telling him like, "You're doing this in like the non-respectful, like kind of cheat dirting way, right? Like you're not supposed to kidnap people's kids and everything." Even Sophia, I feel like the same amount, right? Like she didn't kill that kid, but she still killed just the family. You wouldn't
She
do
orphaned
that,
a
right?
child, right?
Well, she did do
child's
that,
gonna be
yeah.
fucked up.
Well,
for
no,
life,
Bruce is gonna go
probably.
adopt her, and that's gonna be Robin or something, or Batgirl, you
Robin,
know?
yeah.
Yeah,
She's gonna find the mushrooms in the.
yeah. But yeah, again, it comes back to that, and I wonder at the end of the show if Oz wins, does he look at himself in the mirror and is he just like Walter White, where he's like illogical and he's like, "Yeah, that's me. I'm that gangster," or is he gonna have some speech about like how, "Oh, I wanted to be that gangster, but you know, you just can't do that anymore, and the world's changed, and you got to do what's right, and I'm what's right." Like, I'm wondering if he's gonna push back against that legacy he keeps talking about, right? Like, in order to be successful, he had to be a piece of shit, but that's like the better way, and that's the new way. You can't. He may even blame it on other people. Like, people wouldn't let me be the guy I wanted to be. Like, I'm curious because that's again, he's referred back to that a few times, and I thought it was very risky for him to stand there where the car was just on fire. I feel like you'd want to have the conversation with the three guys away from there, not from the explosion. Just like cops and police are going to be showing up. Maybe Sophia Falcone might, look at that type of stuff. I don't know, but he was okay. So. But yeah, we will be back next week for actually episode 6, the real episode 6. We'll talk about that, break it down, and then we will, and then we got 2 more weeks. Well, like I said, we still have to have a inside baseball meeting, what we're going to do on Extra Life Day, There's an episode 6, so we're going to see what happened there. We'll talk, and it won't be boring.
Bye-bye.